Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort squat day. Really, we'll just call it squat day because I could not speed pull. The lat was not going to allow for it. I went to do a warm up without bands just to see how it felt, and no, I better leave this alone. We better not deadlift, and it's definitely my lat. I'll discuss that further. Yeah, my whole lat. I mean, you guys see it down the arm, but there's no pain in the arm. It's all pain in the lat. Left lat is swollen just a little bit. Not bad, but someone investigated it for me. So, yeah, definitely my lat. Now, I was able to do some light lat work today just to get some blood flow to it. And it doesn't really hurt. It was only hurting when I went to just grab 155 on a deadlift for a speed pull. But also, just to keep the strain lower, I went ahead and went with the safety bar again today. Instead of changing bars, because this is the easiest one, just shoulders don't have to go back or anything. I mean, I could have used a cambered bar. But went up on the band tension. Went with 165 pounds of bands, 6 doubles. And I thought I would show you guys the side view, right? So that we see where my knees are when I do these, right? So we got a side view for the last two, and it's people have started to realize, obviously my speed work, I run more band than I do weight, right? And we want tension at the bottom. Like, we don't want the bands, if we set them up perfect, we don't want them completely slack at the bottom. Notice there's tension. That's what we want. That's desirable. After that, I decided, because my low back is getting a little bit pumped, I'm like, I'm going to skip, just because my body is getting a little beat up. I don't want to go crazy hard today. I want to stick with stuff that's easy to recover from and recover this weekend. Really need to recover this weekend. So I think, if anything, what the situation told me is there's overuse happening. And people say, well, are you doing that much lat volume? Well, keep in mind all those pull-ups. And I feel like the pull-ups are really what contributed a lot, because those wide grip pull-ups, I feel them quite a bit at that insertion point that I pulled. Okay, it stretches that area, stretches the long head of the tricep, all that stuff. I think in my case, it's again some pull-up overuse. So I don't know that I need pull-ups for a while. I love pull-ups. I love giving them to my lifters. A lot of my lifters thrive on them. I'm good at pull-ups no matter what I do. In fact, when I trim back down a little body weight, drop any water, my pull-ups will probably be super high again. And they get strong just from my other back work. So I think I really need to focus on the rows, and I need to focus on the upper back more. And if anything, we need to quit overusing the lats. Okay, my lats grow no matter what I do. They're going to be massive. They respond well. They'll respond to rows and deadlifts. They really do. They really do. So I think I'm going to rotate row variations, mainly on upper days. I was going to do them all 4 days. I'm like, look, I don't need to be doing 20 sets of rows a week. I don't need it, especially if I'm going to do speed pulls and stuff. Fine. My delts, triceps, posterior chain, they can handle a lot more volume. And that's where I need to put it. So I did just light good mornings just to get some blood flow to my low back. I'm going to try to sleep a lot this weekend. Part of even that pull happened after a night of little sleep. I was engaged in something and only got like 5 hours of sleep the night before I pulled that lat on the deadlift. The training didn't suffer. My lifts were monstrously good, right? Even that 501 safety bar squat, I left a hair in the tank. But you guys can see the bruise pretty good. That spread all the way down. It continued to spread down, and there's no pain in the arm. Like, nothing is an issue there. Nothing's an issue. So it's all my lat. It's just the seepage. And I need to be clear on that. Some people don't get that. I'm missing clotting factors, so I bleed really easy. So for me, when I pull muscles, I always turn black. Like, I've had muscle pulls that don't prevent me from hitting maxes a week later, like heavy maxes that bleed like that. So just an FYI. And it's going to be there for weeks. And I'll just deal with it. We'll deal with it. But in the meantime, I just did this 40-pound kettlebell. We just want to get some blood flow, right? 20 rep sets each arm, because I don't want to neglect training at all. What we don't do is not move. All right, getting blood flow to injured areas is critical. It's absolutely critical. So this is something we need to be aware of. But yeah, it felt good. I mean, it made it a little stingy just to do that afterwards, but it doesn't hurt now, because I wanted to get that blood flow. I want to get it to that area. This is how we facilitate healing, but I'm not going to go pull anything heavy. And the speed pulls were going to be an issue. Like, I knew as soon as I grabbed 155 and just picked it up, I'm like, It's always fascinating. You see that, and people will say, well, lats aren't a limiting factor in the deadlift. Really? I pulled a lat on the deadlift, deficit deadlift, and now deadlifts are what hurt it. This doesn't actually hurt it like even a light deadlift did. So, get blood flow to it, get it healing. Fortunately, nothing's detached or anything. And I'm going to have to quit overtraining the lats. I'm going to have to avoid those deep stretch positions, honestly, because they don't matter. If I'm not doing pull-ups, does it really matter? And a lot of people are like, but those are stretched. That's my full range of motion. My lats are stretched as far as they go when I do this. Scapula come apart, everything. Is it necessary for my sport? Is it necessary to get jacked? I mean, sure, for someone who struggles with lat development. I genetically don't. So, a lot of my lifters who need the lats are going to keep doing pull-ups. A lot of them are going to do pull-ups and rows. But we got blood flow to all that, and then I went ahead and did my normal glute ham raises and reverse hypers. Guess posterior chain's the name of the game. I decided not to do belt squats. I'm like, you know what? They're getting tough. And I'm also looking at maybe I should do good mornings in one of those slots. I don't know that I need the belt squats twice a week. Be honest. I think between the speed work and 5 really good quality sets like I'm doing, I think my quads and all that will get all the work they need. They're not exactly lacking. And I need to double down on that posterior chain, at least for the lower body. Upper body, it needs to be the upper back, delts, triceps. And again, people need to remember, it doesn't mean we don't train other stuff. We train everything. Just looking to prioritize. So these were good today. Did my normal 5x10. Of course, I got, again, some blood flow to the area doing those light good mornings. And I needed those because normally we would have speed pulls in that slot. Right? We would normally have speed pulls in that slot. So I wanted to get some extra volume in there besides the stuff that I do. And they felt good. I mean, like I said, I didn't go crazy heavy. I just did 3 sets of 10 or 12 or whatever. I think it was 3x10. With a plate on each side of the safety bar. Like I said, I may do some work sets of good mornings every week. All right, we may do that. And I think that's probably what I'm going to start doing. And again, just balance these things out. Because I wonder if, again, the good mornings would help me keep better tension in that middle back and the traps and everything. Right, those mid traps, lower traps. And maybe we won't be pulling lats. I need to make sure that area is strong. And good mornings do it for me. So we probably do need to get strong on good mornings again. And I probably need to work them into my max rotations every now and then. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Right? Wouldn't be a bad idea. And that will also alleviate some of that potential overuse from the deadlifts. Because that's the other thing. We're doing me and speed pulls every week. Maybe that second slot needs a different hinge. Again, got to balance these things out. But reverse hypers went good. I went ahead and added a little 5 on each side so we get to 500. Pretty happy with this. I did like 12 or 13 reps on the last set. I did 10s on the first ones. And you know what? I went ahead and bit the bullet. I bit the bullet and ordered some more calibrated plates. And I was only going to get 2, but I'm like, I'm going to have to pay for shipping. I'm already going to have to pay for shipping. I might as well get more. Then I'll have enough plates to eventually, if I want to pull, whatever, 670, something like that eventually at the home gym with calibrated plates, we will be able to do that. We'll be able to do that. But we're back up to 500 for the work sets on this, all right? My low back is in a real good place. My glute should be in a real good place. I think this is going to shore up that weak link we saw in the squat at the last meet. And I think we're seeing that now in the EME work, all right? It wasn't really upper back. I think it was lower back. And at least one top level coach was there who said, yeah, your back kills you on those. Your legs were strong enough to lift that. When I went for that state record twice this last meet and missed it due to messing up all my stuff, my refeed, he said that. He's like, dude, the leg power was there. Like, you came out of the hole hard, and then you collapsed. Like, the chest and everything collapsed, killed you. And that's in this case low back. It's low back. My upper back's not a problem. I just did 501 with legit calibrated plates, so we know it's real. I just did 501 with a safety bar. My upper back is not the limit. It's low back, middle back. The reverse hyper should sort all of that out. But overall, good session. A little more chill than normal, but it's all good. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.